So now I will show you how you can build a chatbot and also a guardrail using OpenAI API. In this case, I would not use any RAG technology. So the architecture that I'll be using is this right here. So customer, he will give an input, and based on the input from the customer, the large language model is going to perform some type of classification. Like, is the customer asking for a refund request? Is it a product query, or is it a complaint from the customer? And then I'm also going to perform some type of guardrail check that I'll show you. And then I'm going to give this back to the large language model. And the answer that I'm going to receive is going to be in a JSON format. So I want in a JSON formatted response. And then I'm also going to perform guardrail check again once I get the response from your large language model. And then finally, at the end, I'm going to give the response to the customer. So the first thing I do is I set up. So make sure you have installed OpenAI. I already have installed, so I'm not going to run this. But if you do not, go ahead, run this command. And after this, I want to see which version of OpenAI do I have. In this case, I have 2.29.0. Also, you want to see what version of Python you have. So this way, you know that this one worked with this one. Because sometimes what happens, there's a little bit incompatibility issue. So in this case, I have Python 3.12 and I'm working with 2.29. That's my OpenAI version. So this is my key right here. So I'm importing my OpenAI module right here. And this is my key. Now it's a good practice. Do not put your key over here, or if you do put your key over here after using this, make sure you delete this. Otherwise, somebody could actually get hold of your key and they'll be using your key, and then you'll lose all that money. Okay, then after this, let's just come over here. Okay, then let's build a basic chatbot first. So in this case, this is a system prompt. You are a polite customer support assistant for an e-commerce company, and these are the rules: that be polite and professional, ask for order ID when needed, and handle refunds, complaints, and product queries. So this is what I'm giving instruction, and this is the message. This is the list that's going to go to the OpenAI to this large language model, and then I'm running a loop right here, and this loop is going to be asking questions from the user right here. And if the user enters exit, then it's going to exit the loop. Otherwise, it's going to keep asking the user question. And then it's going to ask the large language model. It's going to send the whatever the user asked. It's going to put this in a message list, and it's going to send the message list to the large language model. And the large language model is going to give a response right here. So I'm reading the reply, and then I'm printing out the reply right here. So let's go ahead and run this. Let me just come over here. Let me just run this cell first. Okay, come back over here. Let's run this. So the question that I'll be asking is something like this: I need to return shoes and want refund. That's it. So I'm going to copy this, paste it over here, hit enter, and I got this message. Okay, client is not defined. So somewhere over here, I missed the client. So let's just come back over here. Let's fix that. And oh yeah, okay, so I fixed it. This was the code that I had to put. I had to define a client. So let's go ahead and run this again. Come back over here. All right, let's run this again. And we're going to paste this message again. I need to return shoes and want refund. So I'm going to copy this and paste it over here. Hit enter and wait for it. All right, it's done. Okay, so bot, this is a reply. I'm here to help you with that. Could you please provide me with your order ID? This will help me locate your order and assist you with return and refund process. Thank you. All right, so this is working. This is good. So this is going to keep running until you hit exit. So let's go ahead and hit exit now. I do not want anything further now. Exit. All right, so this is done. Now let's add some extension, intent classification. So this is my code right here. This one actually is responsible for figuring out what the customer intent is. So maybe the customer, he wants a refund request, maybe he wants a product query, or maybe he wants a complaint. So basically, I'm just dealing only with three categories. So I'm asking this OpenAI that classify the user intent into one of this one. Refund request, product query, or complaint, and return only the label, nothing else. And then I'm also specifying right a user input. So this is the user input that will be supplied to this classify intent. And then at the end, I return the response. So let's go ahead run this. So that's going to define my function. All right, function is defined. Step 2. Now let's test our intent classification. So I'm going to give three different input. I want to return my product. I want my money back. So for this input, I should get refund. On the other hand, if the user says, or if the customer says how much is the radio, any discount on the product, then it should be a product category. On the other hand, if the customer says the product came back broken, it was missing handle, it had a nasty scratch on the side, then this should be classified as a complaint. So let's see if our large language model does that. So let's just come over here. I'm going to supply the first user input would be this right here. I'm just hard coding the value right now, just for testing purposes. And let's see what it does, what it returns. Refund request. So it returns refund request. That's great. Now I'm going to uncomment this line out. I'm going to comment this, sorry, uncommented this one out and uncommented this one out, activated this one. So for this one, how much is the radio, any discount on the product? It should give me product query. So let's see if it returns that. Let's run that and wait for it. And there you go, product query. All right, this is good. So I'm going to comment this line out, uncomment this one. And in this case, the user is saying that the product came broken, it was missing a handle. So this seems like more like a complaint. Let's see if it classifies this as a complaint. And there you go, complaint. This is good. So we are in business now. All right. So now we are going to use the intent in the chat part. So user input, he's going to supply an input and it's going to get an intent right here. It's going to print out the intent right there. And then if the intent is refund request, I'm going to print this message, bot, this is your chat bot. It's going to say, sure, please provide your order ID. Otherwise, if the intent is complaint, then the bot is going to say, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Can you please explain the issue? Otherwise, if let's say it does not fall in this, doesn't fall in this, I'm going to say, bot, let me help you with that, something like that. Okay, so this is just a small demonstration purpose. So this is not perfect, but it can, I think you got an idea. So let's run this now. So come over here. So user input. So I'm just going to copy one of these. So let's just say I copy this one. I'm going to copy this one. Come back over here. So this seems to be a refund request. So I should get this output right here. So paste it, enter, and there you go. It says bot, sure, please provide your order ID. And it printed that part out over there. And that's because my detected intent came out to be refund request. All right, this is good, working. Now let's add another extension. In this case, I want my output to be JSON format. So let's define our structured format prompt right here. So this is my system prompt right here. And I'm saying that you are a polite customer support assistant for an e-commerce company. The rules are pretty much same, but right now I'm adding this additional instruction. I'm saying always respond in a JSON format. So in a JSON format, I want the intent that will come over here. I want the message that will come over here, and action required that will be true and false. You can add some more features over here if you want to. All right, so let's just run this cell. All right, so let's generate our JSON response. So input, this is the you as a user. You are giving an input, and response is going to come from your large language model from here. And also supplying the system prompt and also supplying the user prompt over here. And then I'll get the response. This is my reply. And then I print out the JSON reply. So it should be in that format. So let's see if it works. So come over here. Let's run this. And let's type that question. So I'm going to say this one right here. I'm going to copy this part right here. Just copy this one. And it should come, the output should be in the JSON format. Hit enter. And wait for it. There you go. All right, great. Raw JSON response. Intent, return request, message. I can assist you with the return process. Could you please provide your order ID? All right, this is good. Action required, true. All right, this is good. So it printed out my response. It gave me output in this format. So I specified this in my system prompt. This is great. Okay, now we are going to convert our JSON string to Python dictionary. Well, that's easy. Just import your JSON library, and then from the reply, okay, from the JSON library, you call this load, and then in the load, you pass your reply, and then this is going to give you fast response, and then you can print out the intent, message, and action required. Okay, so let's run this, and there you go, passed output. Intent is return request, message is I can assist you with the written process, action required, true. All right, great, it's working. And now I want to add another guardrail. This is my extension 3. So the user gives an input. So this is going to be my input guardrail. So these are the, let's say these are my blocked words: hack, illegal, fraud. I do not want user or the customer using these words right here. So I'm checking. This is the function. What it does, it checks for these words. If any one of these words are present inside the user input, inside the user prompt, it is going to return it is not safe, otherwise it's going to return it is safe. It's going to return true and false based on that. Okay, so come back over here. So let me just run this, and there you go, the function has been defined and everything is good. So now we're going to test our guardrail. So what I'm doing, I'm supplying some input right here, and then this function is going to check for that. If it contains any one of these words, it's going to print out I cannot assist with that request. Otherwise, if it doesn't contain any one of the block words, that means it's good. It's going to say input is safe. So let's go ahead and run that. And I want to say, suppose I type this thing. All right, this is my word, or this is my sentence I'm typing, and sentence is saying that I want to hack, commit fraud because I'm illegal. How can I do this? And it should return me this message right here: I cannot assist you with that request. Let's see if it does. Hit enter. Oh, there you go, I cannot assist you with that request. That's great. Okay, now let's add guardrail to our chatbot. So this is my system prompt. So this is essentially the same one that I just used, and this is my message right here. This is the list of messages. And so now I'm going to run a loop right here. So it's going to keep asking user to enter input right here. And if the user enters exit, it's going to break, it's going to come out of the while loop, it's going to stop the program. So then I'm running this input guardrail right here. So I'm checking the user input first. If it is not safe, then it's going to print out I cannot assist you with that request. Otherwise, it's going to go to the next line of code. And then I'm appending my message. I'm appending the role user, also taking the content, which is the user input, and then I'm supplying it to the chat gpt, to the OpenAI tool, and then it gives me response right here. So I read the response, and then I'm checking the response. So this is my output guardrail. So if my response, if in my reply, if it contains the word illegal, then I'm going to give this message to the user bot. I am not allowed to provide that information, and then I'm going to print out the reply. Okay, and then also I'm appending this whole thing all over again, so this way I can remember my past. So let's run this. And so let's just run something, test something small. So in this case, let's see, I can, okay, so how can I get, how, okay, I need refund. All right, and there you go. There you go. Bot intent refund request, action required true, everything is good. All right, so if I say something, let's say I just use the word I want to hack. All right, hit enter, and you should get this message: bot, I cannot assist with that request. All right, that's good. And the reason you got this response is because right here, you see, because this condition, okay, it did not pass that is safe condition. So it did not pass that, it got you this message. All right, so our this code is working up to here. That's great. And after this is done, make sure you delete your API key from this notebook. Otherwise, you do not want this notebook having your API key. That could be a problem. So this is the chatbot architecture. You had user input. It performed intent classification. Then I performed guardrail check. Then I did LLM response generation. I also did JSON formatting, and I also did guardrail check again from the output of the large language model. And then at the end, I present the final response to the user. So this is a simple assignment you can perform. You can add a new intent, for example, order status. You can add some more block words, maybe 3 or more. You can also modify the chat part. So this way it can be rude, friendly. You can change the tone of your chatbot. And now we are going to create a Streamlit app from the application we just created. So this will include a chat user interface. Also, it's going to do the intent classification, also JSON response. So this is the output that you're going to get. And also, I'm going to perform the same guardrails as we did before. So first thing you want to do is make sure you have installed the necessary dependencies. So make sure you install your Streamlit and Python Dart environment. So I'm going to copy this right here and go to your, let me just come back to my Visual Code right here, and let me just kill this process, and let me increase the size of the screen so you can see what I'm typing. Okay, so I just did I'm just to copy this command right here. So this is going to install pip install streamlit python .v right here, and you want to make sure that you're using the right Python. So I do Python -m and hit enter and just wait for it. And let me put this instruction over there too while this is running. So this should be Python -m right here. Okay, and this should be done. Yeah, there you go. All right, coming back to our Visual Studio Code. All right, this is good. It's already done. Everything is already installed. I installed this before, so that's why I got this message. Okay, this is good. Next step, then we are going to check which version of Streamlit do I have. I just want to know like which version am I using. It's something I always do that. So come over here just to make sure. Okay, I'm using Streamlit 1.5.54.0. All right, this is good. So let's create an environment file. If you remember, we were putting our API key hard coding into our Python program. That's not a good idea. So let's create a .env file, and inside your env file, you're gonna put your API key over there. So come back over here, and you're gonna see this right here. So go ahead, double click, and there you go. So your API key is gonna come over here. So and you put your API key in here. So I create my API key and just come over here, paste it, and I'm going to save this file. All right, let's just close this. Okay, so that part is done. Let's come back to the next one. That would be, let me just come, where was I? There it is. Okay, so create my API key. So it's I created an environment env file. It should be in the same directory where all your code is, and so this is where I did right now. So now let's create this file called app.py. In that file, this is what I have to enter. So I'm going to copy this whole thing. I'll close it. All right, Control C. Come over here, and so I have this right here. So this is the project file. So I'm just gonna create a new file, and there you go. All right, and I'm gonna call this thing as app.py, hit enter, and I'm gonna paste that code over here, save it, Control S, and let me decrease this. Let me just make this a little bigger, and let me close this part so you don't have to see it. All right, there you go. So let me explain you what's happening over here. This is basically now it's gonna be easy for you to understand if you have seen, if you've been watching consistently. So I'm loading my environment variable. So this way I don't have to actually manually enter my API key over here. All my API key is going to be present inside .env. And what load .env does is going to load your environment variables from there. Okay, so I get my API key from there. So this way you don't have to see it. And then I set up my client. This is my client right here. And these are my block words, the one I just showed you. Then this is the function. It checks if the user input contains any one of these words. If it does, then it is going to declare this as not safe. Otherwise, it's going to be safe. And so this is my intent classification. So here, based on the user input, I supply my give it to the your chat gpt, your open AI tool is gonna give you the response. It's gonna tell you what type of intent that is it a refund, is it a product, is it a complaint, and then based on that I get the response right here. And then I also generate JSON response. So this is my little function, and this function is responsible for generating your JSON response. So over here, right here, I'm specifying that always respond in a JSON format right here. Okay, and then I give this message. I basically send this user input to the chat GPT right here, and then it's going to return a response right here. Then from the response I read the necessary content. So this is the one Streamlit user interface. So this is the one that's going to be responsible for creating nice little graphical front end for you. Okay, so in this case, my page title is this right here, and layout is centered, and it's going to give this title right here. This is the demo, and actually that's the demo message. And if the message is not in st.session state, then it's going to create an empty message. All right, and display the previous messages. All right, so display the previous message. Also, user input. So this is where the user is going to be entering the input. Now, if the user enters some input, it's going to run this code right here. So basically, what's happening is adding to the message is basically taking all the user input and it's adding those information to their message list right here. Okay, and then if st.chat message user, then markdown user input. Okay, this is good. Guardrail check. So I check for the if there's anything unsafe in the user input. If there is anything unsafe, it's gonna say bot reply is gonna present this output. Otherwise, it's gonna give the whole input, whatever the customer gave, to the chat GPT, and it's gonna classify the intent. Okay, and then I get the response from the chat GPT, from my bot, and then I'm going to parse that particular JSON response. And then at the end, I'm going to check if there's any word illegal inside the bot reply that I received from the large language model. If it contains the word illegal, I'm going to print this message. I'm not allowed to provide that information. And then at the end, it's going to display the bot response right here. So let's just go ahead and run this and come back over here. So the way you run this command and the way you run this program is, just come down over here, And let me just copy and paste this. By the way, this file is provided to you, so you can actually just take a look at this thing. This is going to be easy. Just come over here and paste it and hit enter. So I'm entering this command right here. Let me increase the size of the screen, so in case if you're not able to see. All right, let me decrease the size now and hit enter. And let me make this guy a little bit up. There you go. Okay, enter and just wait for it. All right, invalid file does not exist. Okay, app.py. So what just happened? Okay, I did not go into the directory. Make sure you are in that directory, otherwise it's not going to work. All right, and cd into, there you go. All right, let's run this again. So make sure you run this command, python -m streamlit run app.py in the same directory where your app.py file is located. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And let's run this again. And there you go. And you see this guy running. Okay, so this is running. All right, AI customer support chatbot demonstration. Let me just decrease the size of the screen. So type your message. Okay, I want to return. I want to return a shoe, a pair of shoes. Or shoes is fine. Hit enter. And let's see what I want to return a shoes. Let's see what ChatGPT gives me. And wait for it. There you go. I can assist you with the return process for the shoes. Could you please provide your order ID? All right, this is good. So this is how your chatbot, by the way, works. So now you can give a lot of information. So for example, you can type over here. You can type the order ID. You can type the complaint. Whatever you want to type, you can keep going like this. Let me just type something over here. My order ID, I do not remember. Okay, can you provide me with uh, next step? Next step. All right, let's see what it gives me. My order ID I do not remember. Can I provide? Oh, look at the spelling of provide. I made it provide. Huh? Interesting. I don't understand. You don't remember your order ID. To assist you further, could you please provide me with your email address on the name for the order? This will help me locate your order details. All right. So this is good. And all right, so I'm happy with this. So as you can see, it's working and it's producing what I want. So now I'm going to kill this process. Just come over here. You can actually control C. Let's see what else is there. I'm not allowed to okay, it gave you the information. You know what, let's just add one more thing for demonstration purpose. Let's say I've added a word, I want to do something hack. Let's just say something hack illegal. All right, I cannot assist you with their request. All right, it passed the test. Now, one more thing I want to say, that you can add some more stuff over here. You can actually add the database, you can add authentication features, you can add logging, RAG, you can have so many advanced features you can add to this particular chatbot if you want.